Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video, we are going to be making this very easy one row repeat scarf. Okay, we're going to set it up and then it's just a one row repeat after that. Let's get started. Things you will need include 1 skein of yarn. I'm using this brunette yarn. This is a lilac. It's a medium 4 yarn. You'll need a crochet hook, 5mm US, and I'm going to use a little bit larger one, 5.75mm because of my tension. You'll need a darning weaving tapestry needle, a pair of scissors, and if you happen to have one around, a stitch marker. It's always handy to put in the loop when you need to step away from your work, just to make sure it does not come undone. Let's begin. So we're going to take our yarn, wrap it around our finger, and we'll twist and exchange. Now we're going to wrap it around in this direction. You want to pull this loop over that one and off the finger while lifting up on the one that's on your finger. Insert your crochet hook into the loop and then pull to tighten. So the multiple for this pattern is just a multiple of 2. It's just 2. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I think 18 chains is sufficient for the width that I want my scarf to be. So now we're going to work into the second chain from the hook. Here's the hook. Here's the first chain from the hook. Here's the second. Right in there, we're going to go in there and we're going to put first a single crochet. All right, so take your crochet hook, skip the first one, go into the second one like that. You can pull this out now. And then yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, and then yarn over and go through 2. That's our single crochet. 1, 2. Now we're going to go right back in there and we're going to put a bean stitch. What's a bean stitch, Atreyu? Well, keep watching. Yarn over, enter the same chain that the single crochet is in, yarn over, pull through to the front. You're going to have 3 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over again, re-enter that poor same stretched out chain and then yarn over and pull through to the front. That's going to give you a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your crochet hook. Now we're going to yarn over and go through all 5 loops like that. And now we're going to skip the next chain. So make sure you always know what the next chain is. Well, you see this one is pretty easy to identify. It's all stretched out. The next chain is here, right? That's the chain we're going to skip. And then we're going to work into this chain. What are we going to put in there? The same single crochet and bean stitch. All right, so skip 1 and go into 2 to make the single crochet. Yarn over, go through 2. And now we're going to go right back in there for the bean stitch. So yarn over, enter, yarn over, 3 loops, yarn over, 4 loops, re-enter, yarn over, pull through to the front, and that is how you arrive at your 5 loops. Yarn over and make sure your hook is turned down and then go through all 5 loops with no problem. Okay, and we're just going to repeat this across. So let's pick it up a little bit. So skip the next chain, go in the one there after, put the single crochet in there first, and then go back in there and make the bean stitch. So 1, 2, and now I have my 5 loops. Yarn over, hook turned down, and then I go through all 5 loops like that. And this is what it will be looking like for you. All right, skip the next chain, go in the one or after, put your single crochet, then put the bean stitch in there. Yarn over, go in there, yarn over, go in there, have your 5 loops, yarn over, go through all 5 loops. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more time. Skip the next chain, go on the one thereafter, yarn over and make your single crochet. Now back in there, we're going to make the bean stitch. So we go in there once, yarn over, go in there twice. Give this our 5 loops, hook turned down, and then we go through all 5 loops with no problem. Continue doing this and I'll meet you once we get to the end. As you can see, I have 2 more chains left right there, 1 and 2. So when I get down to just 2 chains, I skip this stitch like normal, that chain, the next chain I skip it, and then in the one thereafter, I only put a single crochet. So just go in there and make a single crochet. I don't make the bean stitch on the end. Okay, so you'll always end your row with the single crochet. And this is what it's gonna look like. Now we are going to chain 1. Doesn't count as a stitch. Normally when you hear doesn't count as a stitch, that means that you gotta make a stitch in that same stitch. And that's why I'm telling you, hey, that chain 1, it does not count. So we gotta do something else. All right, so now I'm gonna turn my work. In this single crochet, and actually in all the single crochets across, we're gonna put that same pattern. So here it is, right here. Here's the chain 1, here's the top of that single crochet. I'm gonna go in there and make a single crochet. Okay, that was easy. Now let's put the bean stitch in there. Yarn over, go in 1, yarn over, go in, and that's 2. And there are my 5 loops, that's familiar. Yarn over, turn my hook down and go through all 5 loops. And now, as I said before, we're gonna find all of the single crochets and put that same single crochet bean stitch pattern in it. So I don't know if you can see this well, but this next top is actually the top of that combination stitch that we've been making. And right here, that second top, so 1 and then 2, the second top is the single crochet. So when you skip that combination stitch, that's kind of like how we were skipping the next chain. So basically skip a stitch and then do the combo again in the next stitch. Skip a stitch, do the combo again in the next stitch. Skip a stitch, do the combo again in the next stitch. Skip a stitch, do the combo again in the next stitch. And that next stitch that you're always putting the combo in, those correspond to the single crochets. Okay, you see? Single crochet there, single crochet there, single crochet there, and so on and so forth, okay? So let's continue now. So I can give myself the aerial view, skip a stitch, and then this next stitch I'm gonna put the combo, the single crochet bean stitch. So I slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Now I go back in there and put the bean stitch for 1 and then for 2. See? Okay. Give myself the aerial view, skip the next stitch, go on the one thereafter, and hey, guess what, guys? That's the single crochet. And then I go back in there and put the combo. I go back in there and put that bean stitch to form the combo, I should say. Okay. And that's all that it is. So we're just going to do this across. I think I'll stay on camera for this. Here's the next stitch that I need to crochet into, single crochet, and then the bean stitch. Okay, skip the next stitch, go on the one thereafter, single crochet, and then bean stitch. This is what it's turning out to look like. Beautiful, right? And the best part is it's super easy. Skip the next stitch, that top, and there, that's the single crochet. And we put the combo, which is the single crochet and the bean stitch. Skip the next stitch, go on the one thereafter, put the single crochet, and then the bean stitch. And if your yarn splits, take it out, because it will be an eyesore. And we can easily eliminate it by starting over. Skip the next stitch, go into the one thereafter, that's the single crochet, and put the combo. The combo is the single crochet and then the bean stitch. And then when we get to the end, we just remember we always end with a single crochet. If you give yourself the aerial view, just go in there and put a single crochet in the top of the previous single crochet. Like that. And there you go. Okay. So something that you can do is change colors. You can do that every 2 rows. And then if you do it every 2 rows, you don't have to cut your yarn. So say I started another color here, then I could go this way, and then the next row would take me back there, and then I can just drop the yarn temporarily and pick up this one again and start there. So you can really be creative with this. If you want to do more than 2 rows, then every 4 rows, just an even number of rows. So you have one pass that way and then the second pass back that way to get over there. That's just a little trick so you don't have to cut your yarn a million times and then weave in all of those dreaded tails. Okay. So yes, this is the 1 row repeat. So just in case you might have forgotten what you do next, let me just show you. Chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. Ding, ding, ding. That means I got to crochet in this stitch there. Okay, that chain 1 is coming out of. I turn my work. What do I put in it? I put the single crochet, and then I put the bean stitch. I think you guys got this. Okay. So now I am going to put some length on this, and then I'll check back in when it's time to wrap this up. Have fun, you guys. And by the way, I am feeling better this week. So thank you so much for all of the well wishes and thoughts and prayers and all that. Todas las oraciones, etc. I am very grateful, and I have a very caring, compassionate channel, it seems. So thank you guys. For those of you who are wondering what I meant when I said you can use the stitch marker to prevent your work from unraveling when you need to put it down, this is what I meant. You take the loop that normally your crochet hook occupies, and when you pull the crochet hook out, you can put the stitch marker on, and then no matter how much accidental tugging is happening, your work will not unravel. Okay, just a little handy trick. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 more row. I'm going to chain 1, and then I know in there I am going to just start with the single crochet, and then I'm going to go back in there and put bean stitch like that. Then I find the next single crochet and put a single crochet in it, and then a bean stitch. So it's very easy. You see how quickly this works up, right? Okay, continue in that fashion across, and I'll check back in, and we will wrap up for real this video. All right, my scarf is as long as I want it. I'm at the end of the row, so I'm going to chain 1, cut my yarn, fasten off, grab my darning weaving tapestry needle and feed the yarn through the eye of the needle. And then I'm going to weave in this tail, going in one direction through some nearby stitches, and then taking a slightly different path, going in the opposite direction. Then I will cut my tail. Without cutting my work, I'll repeat that same process. At the very beginning, weaving in the initial tail. And this is, you guys, the finished product. Isn't this a beautiful 1 row repeat? Very textured and very warm. Let me zoom out for you. So you should see the measurements of this beautiful scarf now. Okay. And yeah, it's just an incredible scarf. And it crochets up, as I said, very fast. It's a 1 row repeat, so you can go on autopilot. But yeah, look at this. Just incredible. All right, you guys, if you want to see more scarf tutorials, definitely check out the playlist above. And if you enjoyed this tutorial and want to see more tutorials from me in general, then consider subscribing. I will see you guys in the next one. Happy crocheting.